Hey guys, NoZoupForYou here, and if you play World of Warships, you probably fall into one of three categories. You play World of Warships because you love the gameplay, you find it exciting and challenging. 2, you play it because you're a naval buff and you love naval history. 3, you love both. You love the gameplay and you love naval history. I fall into that third category. I absolutely love naval history. I love warships, especially World War II warships. USS North Carolina is probably one of my favorite ships, as is the Iowa, mainly because I've actually been on the USS North Carolina. I went on it when I was about 12 years old. I went with my family. Now, as a lover of naval history, I am also a collector of militaria. I love collecting military history. As it was, about 6 months ago, I found out that you can actually collect a piece of the USS North Carolina. And what you see me holding right here is a piece of teak from the USS North Carolina. They did an overhaul of the ship and they took up the original deck from World War II and replaced it. Obviously, teak and wood does not age well. You can see the side here is kind of splitting apart. I'm sure it was rotting, but wood generally does not age that well. So because of that, they had to replace the deck. When they did that, they cut it up into little pieces and offered it for sale to the general public. And that's how I picked up this piece. I don't know if they still have any available. You might want to check, but very cool, and I think is only around 35, 40 bucks for this piece of history. This awesome piece of World War II history that sailors actually walked on this teak decking. Walked across this in World War II. This was in the Pacific. I mean, how cool is that? So that got me thinking, what other pieces of warship history can I own? So, that being said, I started looking at different websites. Now, obviously you can own a piece of Tirpitz steel if you're willing to pony up $600. I personally am not. I love US battleships. So, that being said, I started adding to my collection. One of the first things that I picked up after the USS North Carolina teak was an actual piece of USS Iowa. This has been made into a business card holder, but same principle. On the website they offer these. This is made using the original teak from the USS Iowa. Now, when these battleships, these Iowa-class battleships, were brought out of mothballs and readied up for Desert Storm, obviously the teak deck had taken a beating. Very much not ideal for modern naval combat. So they took the teak up and they rehauled the ships, and as a result, same deal with the USS North Carolina, offered it to the public. So here I have authentic USS Iowa teak. Very, very cool. It comes with a very neat little certificate of authenticity saying that yes, this is original Iowa teak. So, lead ship right there, USS Iowa. I didn't stop there though. USS Missouri. If you go on their website, you can also own teak from the USS Missouri. This has been made into a bookmark. It's only around $19, so not bad. I am obviously not going to use this as a bookmark. I'm going to put it on display because I think it's absolutely awesome. But this is actual teak decking from the USS Missouri. Just think about that. Think about the historical implications of that. Hirohito, MacArthur, they walked across this teak possibly. They might have been standing on this. Very cool. Steven Seagal might have, no, just kidding. Steven Seagal was on the USS Alabama, which stood in for the Missouri. So definitely not Steven Seagal. But anyhow, some very historical figures walked across this teak. Very awesome, and I'm glad I own a piece of the USS Missouri. But it's not over there. The New Jersey offers some teak as well, and this is actually fairly inexpensive. I think this was only about $5 or $10. $5 or $10 per piece of the most decorated ship in US history, and I was holding that upside down, but this is USS New Jersey teak. Same deal, they refitted the ship, they took up the old teak, which was getting old and rotting, and they now provide it to the public. And you can own yourself a piece of the USS New Jersey if you want to. Very, very cool. Now lastly, USS Wisconsin was a little harder to find. I actually had to go online to find it. I found this on Etsy. This is actually a, this is for your tie, and why can I not remember the name of, it's a tie clip. Derp, it's a tie clip. So anyhow, tie clip with piece of USS Wisconsin teak, hand fashioned by a gentleman that does these for other ships. What he does is he takes the teak and he fashions them into tie clips, and he also makes pins out of them. I believe the website is shippins.com. Can't remember off the top of my head, but I'll put that in the link in case you're interested. You want to go online and look and see what else he has. You know, there's a lot of other ships in there. So Wisconsin was a little bit harder. The ship itself did not have any teak for sale on their website. So this is the only one I couldn't get from the ship itself, but still very, very cool. Good functionality. I'm actually going to use this, and all that other stuff I'm just going to have sitting there at my desk so I can just look around and immerse myself as I'm playing World of Warships. Got real authentic ship history at my hands that I can look at, I can touch, I can feel. The teak decking that sailors walked across that fortunately little if any blood was shed on during World War II. A lot of sweat though, a lot of sweat on these decks. You know, these pieces have seen the Pacific. They've seen war. I mean, how cool is that? If you're a naval history buff, it doesn't get much cooler than that. You can own ship history and fairly cheap. So anyhow, guys, if you love World of Warships and if you love naval history and if you want to own naval history, there's some options for you to actually get your hands on some authentic naval history. So anyhow, guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you got something out of it and you can pick up some naval history if you actually want it. Thanks for watching. Zoop out.